Hey y'all, I'm so excited. We finally get to talk spoilers. Miss Kira, I am so interested in your opinion. I saw your tweet. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I know that was nasty. My bad. Hi, Michelle. Hey, Daria. Excuse me. Listen, maybe I should have waited until 4:30 because this throat is starting to act stupid. Okay. Hey, Raymond. Hey, y'all. We are going to be talking spoilers, y'all. My special guests, they are going to be trickling in and out and all that good stuff. I'm on location, so it may look a little different up in here because I am on location. Hey, y'all. Hey. Y'all, do y'all want to know from my review, my spoiler-free review, what pissed me off to pissivity? Do y'all know? Can anybody tell me, y'all? Let me start first. I'm Nita, your favorite diva. Thanks for joining me. This is the spoiler roundtable discussion about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Come on in. Say hello, where you're watching from, all that good stuff. If you saw it, did you like it? I'm going to be looking at the poll results soon. And I want to know, do y'all know what made me almost want to walk out of the theater? I almost wanted to walk out. I was so freaking pissed. Queen Mother. I'm going to say it again. Queen Mother. When they killed, this is a spoiler filled review, y'all. So if you have not, have not seen Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I suggest you leave, okay? Hello, Miss Jones. How you doing? All right. So y'all, make sure you liking up the video before you leave. But when I tell you, when they killed Queen Mother off that TV screen, I said, who the fuck approved that? I'm so sorry, but that's how mad I was. Who said to do that? Not unless the only acceptable reason for that to have happened was if Angela Bassett, the actress, said that she doesn't want to be, her contract was up. She didn't want to be tied up into any other more movies. That's the only way that is acceptable to me. That is the only way that is acceptable to me, is that Angela Bassett said, my plate is too full. Let this be my last movie. Maybe they, used her up or whatever. Her contract was over or whatever. But other than that, full stop, hard no. I was pissed. Y'all. Miss Kira may do a reaction video. If you are not subscribed to Miss Kira Speaks, go on over there and check my girl out. Yes. That was it. I was pissed. So mad. That is one of the creative choices that I was talking about in my video that I couldn't really speak on, but I was just so upset. Hey Inga, how you doing, honey? She was a strong person. They could have put her in a coma, something. When I think my son, he was like, she's too old, like she's older in age, and she probably wouldn't have survived that if she was okay. If she was underwater for that long. And the fact that, my son, he tried to, like, everything that I had a gripe with, he tried to make me see a different perspective. And what he said that the death of Queen Mother was going to be more impactful because it's like she made a sacrifice for Riri's character. And so I was just like, okay, but still, what? Like, no. I'm still mad, y'all. I'm still uber pissed on that. Make sure y'all do the poll. Yes, did you like it? No, did you not like it? Or you somewhere in between? I found myself somewhere in between. But overall, hey Zia and Inga, there were a lot of flaws. There were a lot of flaws. It was. And like I said, I don't envy Ryan Coogler's position because he had already had the whole script written out and he had to go back to the drawing board, So, like I said, I saw his movie in there, but I also saw the powers that be saying, okay, set this up, do this, do that. And some things didn't land right for me. It didn't land right. It didn't land right. So that's a lot of my gripes is around Queen Mother. I'm like, how much tragedy did that family need to experience? I think with T'Challa's death, that was enough. I really didn't think that we should have got a double whammy like that. And especially how strong her character was in the beginning of the movie, it kind of just like lost me. I was so, oh my God, y'all just don't understand the level of festivity. I was like, I couldn't even get the emotion. Like Kira said, that was her second round of tears. But I was so furious that I couldn't even get past the level of frustration to the emotional side where we lost our Queen Mother. I was floored. I was floored. I really was. Yes, they could have went in a different direction. That's the only thing that I can think of, Inga. I swear that is the only way that's acceptable for me. And I want to keep on looking at some of Ryan Coogler's. Well, he can't spoil it because I've been looking at his interviews trying to get like his point of view and where he's at. Oh, I have a special guest, y'all. And Miss Tamika, are you ready?
Hello. Yeah, I'm ready. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Tamika? This is
I'm good.
Tamika's
I was having
friend.
technical difficulties, of course.
That's okay. Somebody else told me the same thing. So it's all good. I was gonna go ahead and kind of keep it going until everybody started to trickle on in. Um, yes, thank you for joining me, y'all. If y'all are not subscribed to Tamika's Den, go head on over there and subscribe to her channel. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank
And
you for having me.
thank you. I was just talking about the one thing that irritated me the most about Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and it was definitely Queen Mother Angela Bassett's character dying. I was pissed.
Yeah,
How
same
did
here.
how'd you feel
Same
about it?
here. That one took me out. I actually yelled like, I know y'all freaking lying right now. I was like,
Yes,
F this. I was so mad. And I never was like, I'll yell at the TV and stuff when I'm home watching stuff, but I don't usually yell like that in the theater. Tears came to my eyes. I was like, no, I know she's not dead. What the heck is
right.
this? Yeah, that
Oh my
one that
God.
took me out.
Yeah, and I'm like, poor Shuri. She's still reeling from losing him, and then just to put that double whammy, like how much tragedy did we have to, and
Right.
then it almost felt kind of. I mean, I know it's a Black director, so I don't know. I just took offense to it because I feel like you don't see them killing off the white characters like that. Like I don't know. I just took it personally in some other type of way. And I was just like, I think maybe Angela Bassett, her contract was up. She didn't want to, hopefully
Yeah.
that's where it was. I hope that's what
Right.
it was. with
Yeah,
that.
I felt the same way though. At first, I was just really pissed, and then I said, "Well, maybe her contract was up, like you said. Maybe she didn't want to do the role anymore." But I was like, "Man, y'all could have had her in a coma. Y'all could have just had her be up. Like y'all didn't have to have her die. It just was so quick." And I was like, "Are you serious?" Because I was already trying to prepare myself for T'Challa part, Chadwick part, and that was already hard. When I saw the trailer. I was really skeptical, like, oh man, do I even still want to go see this? Because I just was emotional about it. I was like, I got mixed feelings. So I was already trying to prepare for that part. And then to have that happen with her, I was like, oh no, now y'all really doing it here.
Right, right. Let me read a comment from Quincy Cannon. This movie was amazing. People who don't like it don't understand grief and trauma Black people deal with and have had to heal from. And I think that's fair. I wouldn't maybe frame it that way, like people don't understand grief. I wouldn't say that, but I just think you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but thank you for the comment.
Yeah, everybody's gonna feel a different way about it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah,
Some people are gonna like it, some people not, and that's with anything across the board.
right.
I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. I thought it was good, and especially knowing everything that they had to go through. I know this had to be extremely hard for them. I know they put everything in. You could tell that, it was definitely made with love. I love the tribute that they gave to him and stuff like that. I don't judge them when it comes to that part. It's
Right.
definitely a lot of things about it that I did love. Angela Bassett absolutely did her thing. Okay, she wasn't playing at all. Hey.
Hey,
Hey, we got
ladies.
Monique Nicole in the house, you guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yes, yes. If you are not subscribed to Miss Monique Nicole, go on over there and make sure you give her a subscribe and a like and check out some videos, and you may see my face in some of them. Yes, y'all. So I've been lucky to collaborate with a lot of up and coming YouTubers, and I love the relationships that we have been forming. And so, yes, I'm glad to get some different faces. I love Tamika coming over to my channel. I appreciate that. I know you guys have seen her on Moochie's channel. I invited her as well, but I don't think the time lined up for her. So that's okay. And we're not going to have Mo for that long, but she's jumping on. So overall, I just want to get everyone's up. Hey,
Hello.
Hey.
we got the big bad Lamont Tyson and his wife Crystal. Thank y'all for joining me.
Oh, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Hello.
Doing good.
Hello.
Hey, Tamika. Hey,
Hey, how
Monique.
you doing?
Hey, Lamont. Hey, Crystal.
Yes, Tamika be working. She be getting them videos out,
I
cranking
be
them.
trying.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yes, yes. Um, so since we've all been talking, I'm going to shift down to Lamont and Crystal so they can give their thoughts, their overall thoughts on the movie.
Hmm. Well, I done ran my mouth like 5, 6 straight days on what I think about this movie with various people. I want to know what Crystal thinks about this movie because
Okay,
I got some hot takes about this. Now, overall, I give the movie a 7. Okay, it gets a
that's
7
good.
out of 10.
Okay.
But that's because I'm not the general person that's going to see it. I know the comic background. And so I do have to ding it because I do know the comic lure and how it should feel when you introduce one of the main villains to T'Challa, whereas the average person is not going to know.
Right.
So I have to ding it for some stuff that they put in there that was wonky, kind of thespian stuff. But I still gave it a 7. So, honey, you're not into the comics like I am. Give my Wakanda Forever poster. I got to show it. I don't care who channel I'm on.
Oh, good.
Give me my poster.
Before it's time.
Hey,
Who gave it to me?
hey, I love it.
A woman gave it to me. I don't know what her name was, but I married her. Put that back.
Yes, yes.
So,
Yeah.
what did you think about it, honey? You kind of not into the lure, and you tend to give good takes on
I don't
movies.
know. I enjoyed it. So the parts that I enjoyed, I really enjoyed the adversary Neymar.
Yeah.
Namor, whatever.
Kukulkan.
Namor. Yeah, so him and his crew were bad. Like when they first introduced them in the water, and you like, what in the world is going on? I was charged up about that.
It sounded like they were singing a Christian Negro song.
Like they were doing a gospel song or something. It made me anxious for the Wakandans because, okay, how are they going to be able to overcome these folks? I really like that. What else?
Maybe you was like me and you love General Okoye's performance. She needs some award for her, I guess, secondary role in this movie because she nailed it.
Yeah, she did a great job. The part, of course, that I didn't like is that I thought it was just unnecessary for them to kill
Queen Mother.
Yeah. I'm like, we already been through enough as a fan base, and we lost T'Challa.
God,
take her. And when she died, it wasn't even a build up. I didn't even feel sad because I'm just like, did she just die?
We felt more sad. We didn't feel sad that Queen Mother died. We felt sad because Angela's not in the MCU no more. So it didn't hurt me. Queen Mother. Yeah, it's more so the person who embodies Queen Mother. We're not going to see her on screen.
Yeah, and so the build up to that wasn't there to where it was a flat death. It was just like, oh, okay, she died. Why did they do that?
It felt very weird.
Yeah, the emotion wasn't there. Maybe because I was still shocked and didn't really believe it. But yeah, I think it could have been more emotional.
Right.
It just felt unnecessary. Again, I've been through enough with the loss of Black Panther for you to take his mama too.
Right. I agree.
But those are the things.
I was pissed. I was so mad. I couldn't even get no tears and no emotion on the other side of it because I was just so mad. Like, how much do we have to take, just with that? Like, I was just upset.
Neither. They was trying to do everything they could. I mean, everything they could to get us to believe in the fact of Shuri being the Black Panther so quickly and so suddenly, and it still missed the mark. I feel like that didn't help round the story into me believing Shuri is Black Panther. You could have done something else with Queen Mother. I was highly invested in Queen Mother, highly invested in General Okoye, and another one we complained about a little bit. Queen Mother firing General Okoye. I ain't like that. I understood why she did it.
I thought it was justified.
Why do you think it was justified?
Because how she was kind of like a traitor to them during Killmonger.
True, but she did make up for that by taking her own husband, who was a traitor, and putting his butt in jail, like the Queen Mother said.
Okay, that too. But then earlier in the movie, she was like, "No, don't take Shuri." She warned her, and I knew it. I said, "This is a setup." I said, "Something's going to happen to Shuri." And sure enough,
say that, but she did let Shuri go. She still let her go. It ain't like she took her against her will. She still let Shuri go. So my issue was, I don't understand how Queen Mother is bringing up all the other deaths in her life that had absolutely nothing to do with General Okoye. She brought up her husband being gone. She brought up T'Challa being gone. Neither one of them got nothing to do with Okoye. Okoye did lose Shuri, but Shuri's not dead. So I get you in pain, but don't circumvent yourself of some of the greatest people who love you and are in your corner just because you're in pain. And even the council said, "Whoa, we might be being a little too hasty here." So I appreciate that, but I get why they did it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I see both sides. I see Lamont's side, but then again, I see the side that Zuri was in. What's her name? I'm not good with the names, y'all.
Sure.
Yeah, but what's the general's name?
Okoye.
Okoye. She was under Okoye's, guard and care, and so it's like you are technically responsible. You know what I mean? That's kind of the job. You're responsible. It's almost like a babysitter. You are in charge of those kids until the parents come back home, and if anything happens to them, they gonna look at you. You know what I mean? So it's just that's kind of what it is. I teared up. I felt the emotions. I felt bad, but I understood where she was coming from because it's like she's still grieving her son, and then you done upped and lost my only living child I have left. I only got one left. So it's the fear of just anything could have happened to her while she was gone. You know what I mean? So I think it was a lot of emotion behind that whole speech and everything.
I'll say to her defense a little bit, Okoye, that she didn't know what she was up against. I think she got in over her head. She didn't know who these people were, and they surprised the heck out of her when she realized what they were fighting.
Yeah.
Now you see when she dropped her mouth when they got up off the floor after she thought she had killed them. And they got up and she's like, what the heck? So I think if she would have known, she might not have taken Shuri with her if she knew what she was up against. But
or she might have took more people with her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that wasn't even Namor. That was a tumor that whipped her ass. When he stuck his thingy in the ground and broke her shoulder, popped it out of joint. I said, damn.
No, like the whole theater was like, ooh.
Right.
I was cracking up. I love having an interactive theater, a crowd. I know some people don't, but I love to hear other people's, like reactions and stuff like that.
And we had that too, and it was great. And in our theater, we had people that was like 90 years old, all the way down to like 2 or 3 I saw in there, and they was all really getting into the movie. So that made it for a good experience.
Yep.
Okay. And so we have another person to the round table, as is my guy. We went to high school together. His name is Marcus Void. He has a channel on here called Fill the Void, and he is a comic book person. He edits his own. So just say like you know how people do fan art and appreciation and how they put all the clips together, all the MCU clips together. This is what Mr. Marcus Void does. So say hello and give us your overall thoughts on the movie.
How y'all doing? First of all, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
All right, awesome. All right, nice to meet all of y'all. So for me, the movie was good. I'll say it was a good movie, but it was a good movie for non-comic book fans. That's my thought on it, because I'm a comic book fan. I'm a huge Black Panther fan. So the fact that they killed him all bothered me a lot, because I'm like, you know what? When I was young, of course, all we had was Superman, Spider-Man. You guys know all the white superheroes. And when Black Panther came along, he made such an impact, to so many people. I mean, you got little white kids running around now with Black Panther outfits. So I'm like, no, y'all can't kill him off, because this guy's an icon now. You can't kill him off. And I understand Chadwick Boseman died and everything, but Chadwick was not Black Panther. He was an actor who played Black Panther. So I still feel like we should have gotten Black Panther, but I understand the movie's been made now, so it doesn't really matter. So now my problem with the movie is all right, now y'all want us to believe, I think Lamont said it, y'all want us to believe that Shuri is the Black Panther after her only being she only had like a year or something like that, to even train to be Black Panther, and she didn't train at all. So if you notice in the last movie, which I think she was in Endgame, she literally lost within seconds to Thanos' army, like within seconds. So now all of a sudden, y'all want us to say, "Oh, she can take on Namor"?
Yeah.
Like a lot of it just wasn't believable to me, and I'm like, you know what, this bothers me. It bothers me a lot. But the movie itself was good. But me looking at it from a comic book person, I'm like, none of this is accurate. But I'm leaving it as it is, because that's the only part that bothers me. But it was a good movie.
So Nita, that's what I was saying. If you're canon to the comics, you're not all. I mean, it's a good movie. It's a good overall making of a movie. Yes, but if you're canon to the comics, you're frustrated because they maybe should have even tried to push this back and introduce a different villain, because Namor is so canon to Black Panther, T'Challa. They're like yin and yang to each other. They love each other and hate each other.
Exactly.
And so to see Shuri defeat him the way she did, in the manner she did, it didn't feel real. It fizzled on me. I couldn't get invested in Shuri as the Black Panther. Mark said it best. We've never seen Shuri do no kind of combat. We know technologically she's super advanced, but we've never seen her do no kind of combat. And she was up there looking like she came off the set of Mortal Kombat.
Exactly.
Butt. I mean, just whipping. She would go from her little blasters to the claws just like it won't nothing. And they tried to make her journey to Panther without the physical trauma put on her body that it should have had. They've tried to give her a lot of emotional trauma with her mom dying, her brother dying, Wakanda's in tatters. She met the king of Tolkien, so she's emotional about not destroying his people. And not to mention they brought in a scientist who I felt like they shouldn't even have introduced her right now either.
Me either.
And they wasted time with Ross and Val. If you're not going to tell that Val is going to use the Thunderbolts to attack Tolkien, what was the point in having Ross and Val in the story?
Right.
And so I'm being nice by giving it a 7 because everything else was great. I mean, everything, the visuals, Namor was great.
Namor was very good.
Namor was amazing, but the art for Shuri was extremely lackluster. Not to mention they took a ball sack away from M'Baku, but I'll leave that alone.
I was bothered by that too, man. I like the way they did that to M'Baku.
Listen,
I agree.
I love that. Justice for
M'Baku.
I agree.
I was pissed. I said, no, y'all could not do that to him. So, first of all, we're already pissing off a part of the fan base who are really against the women having a bigger presence over the men. So now when you make a move like that, now you feeding into it and kind of like proving the point. And I'm like, no, don't. Let's hold all of our people up. You don't have to put the men down to put the women up. Just put us all up. And I didn't like the way they did that.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have a problem with. They feel like, okay, people have been calling you guys the MCU for the last, 4 or 5 years because they see it's being female driven. Now, all of a sudden, our only black hero has now been, pressed aside, and then it's entirely of, I guess I want to say like 95% female driven Black Panther movie. I'm like, okay, look, y'all had a chance to do this. I thought they should have did the movie during the blip because then we all know, T'Challa's not there. We all get it now. He's not there. He's gone with the blip. You also had a moment there because when Okoye was talking to Black Widow, she said it's an earthquake under the ocean. Okay, come on, that's the key sign right there. It's something going on in the ocean. Why didn't they just piggyback off that? But they didn't. They just, you know what? Let's just give a tribute to Chad and move on to Shuri.
How y'all feeling about the introduction of Toussaint? Which I guess that's supposed to be in the MCU winking to us that T'Challa's not gone. But at the same time, we don't know whether or not that they're going to use, I think they're going to use Toussaint for the Young Avengers. But I'm curious to know, is he going to transcend from the Young Avengers to being the next T'Challa? Because if that's what they're going to do, unless they're going to fast forward the story, we're going to be waiting for another T'Challa for damn near 10 years while Toussaint got to get some age on him. How do y'all feel about the introduction of Toussaint?
My problem with that is that you gave us a young T'Challa, right? However, all those T'Challa stories that happened with Storm or happened with what's the guy who normally fights Spider-Man all the time?
Kraven.
Yeah, Kraven. So you're telling us now we're never going to see that now. Right. We're only going to see that 10 years from now. So all of a sudden, Storm is the X-Men is going to have to come in very young for her to even have a relationship with a young T'Challa. See? So now it's like, all right, y'all gave us this young guy, but now you just completely brushed away every awesome story that was actually from the Black Panther comic book. Right.
And my wife was saying how she was wondering how was they going to handle the story where it was going to be Nakia versus Storm, because canon to the story, Nakia and Storm got into a fight over T'Challa. And in the end, Nakia got that ass electrocuted. But my wife was saying, the MCU did not want to have two sisters fighting each other. So they done eliminated that right now. That ain't going to be happening with this story right here. But now that they done introduced Namor as a mutant, there's bigger stories we want to know that could be told on behalf of Black Panther that we're probably not going to see while we wait on Toussaint to be in the Young Avengers and then grow up.
Right. And that's what 10 years from now.
Let Mo jump in real quick because we're not going to have her for too much longer. So.
Okay.
So I want to speak to what y'all were talking about before when I had to kind of mute myself for a second. I personally have a problem with people saying, "Oh, it was too female driven. It was too female. I have a problem with it. I don't. I just think it's. I don't know. I don't want to say sexist, but I just think it's kind of weird that we get one movie where it's female driven and everybody got a problem. We got two in 1 year. We got This and Woman King, and now it's a problem. I feel like for me, and of course, I'm not a comic person, so I have a different perspective. I think the way they did it was perfect as far as with Zuri being to me, temporary Black Panther. She's not going to be it for long, you guys.
Yeah.
I see it. I think this was a nice nod to Chadwick. I think this was very sentimental. It was still respectful within the family. You know, I feel like that's kind of where they wanted to come from with it. Yeah. And I respect that. Had they tried to rush and recast and put a different Black Panther, we would be pissed off. So it's kind of like they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. I like what they did because I know she's not going to be it for the long haul. Yeah. But
she doesn't even look interested, doesn't she? She doesn't even look like she wants to be the Black Panther.
Well, it's weird if you're taking over your dead sibling. I mean, anybody's going to feel, you know, you're going to have all types of emotion. You're still grieving. Am I good enough? Am I worthy enough? How am I going to fill these shoes? You know, what does this entail? I mean, there's so many emotions and thoughts that she's probably having. That's probably why she looked apprehensive to do it. But yeah, that's just my take. You know, as far as the female thing, I don't really like that commentary that's been kind of floating around. And I'm going to be honest, I watched some reviews before I saw the movie, like non-spoiler, and maybe everybody was comic book people, but the way y'all was talking about the damn movie, I thought it was about to be terrible. So I'm so thankful that I saw it for myself. Someone even said M'Baku wasn't in it a lot. I felt like he was in it enough. I felt completely different. I felt like he was in it enough, and I like his character. So sure, I'd love to see him more, but I feel like he was in the movie enough for me to get my M'Baku fix. So that's just my opinion from a different vantage point. So I just wanted to throw that out.
Okay, that's cool. I appreciate that, y'all. I want to get everybody's take on E-Man's movement to sign the recast T'Challa petition. And I think I know pretty much everyone's opinion, but I just want to, you know, kind of get like Marcus, I don't know yours. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to get your take on it, and then next will be Tamika.
I think it's too late to recast them now. After this movie, they done already made it pretty clear that this little guy, you know, Tucson and T'Challa is going to be the next Black Panther, probably. I'm sure Shuri probably going to hold the mantle for the next couple movies, you know, while they going into the King Dynasty. But I think eventually it's going to be, you know, his son that's going to take over. So, recasting them now, it probably wouldn't be a good idea because now everybody looking like, all right, what are y'all doing? What are y'all?
Yeah, they made the decision in this one, but I'm just saying, prior to the movie, were you on board with the recast?
Yeah. But before it, I was definitely on board with it because I was thinking like, all right, we're entering the multiverse. So why didn't they just grab a T'Challa from another multiverse? But
right, that's what I thought.
People we got now, it's like, all right, it's over now.
Isn't it a little premature for us to assume they're not going to do it? I feel like that's premature to assume it. Am I missing something? I know that the little boy was revealed in the end, but there's a lot that they can do with that storyline wise. He doesn't have to be the next Black Panther. He can serve a different purpose or a different role, or you know.
Well, that's true. That's why I said I think Shuri is going to be the Black Panther for the next few movies. I think she's going to go into the King Dynasty as Black Panther. I just don't know when they're going to make his son take the mantle eventually.
Okay.
Tamika, were you behind the recast T'Challa petition?
Yeah, I was for recast T'Challa. Now with this, I agree. I think more than likely this probably, I mean, I would assume if they introduced the son that somewhere down the line, I don't know how far down the line, that he would probably become the Black Panther. I think that's the direction they going in. I'm not even sure if they for sure which direction they're going in, but
Right.
we will see.
All right, Mo, what you think?
I'm for it now. I'm for it now. I feel like fans are very fickle because in the beginning, when Chadwick first died, I saw a lot of comments talk about don't do that, don't disrespect him, don't recap. I saw a lot of that, and now everybody wants somebody different. So maybe because time has gone by, people are changing their opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I like how they did it for this movie. I thought it was very tasteful, very respectful. But I would like to see a new Black Panther for the future films.
Yeah, absolutely. Lamont, Crystal.
I was definitely on board for it. Still am on board for it. To Monique's point, a lot of people that were saying don't do it was folks who didn't like what the Cat Panther represented in terms of inspiring young Black men, and they was just hating ass MFers. And they done all gone back to the Twitter wayside, and I had some of these Black Kyrie Irving folks.
No, it was a lot of people that was mourning Chadwick Boseman that was saying that.
So some of them too, and now the ones that are Black done jump back over here saying they want a new one, with the white folks still saying no, don't recast them. And those are the ones that I have no love for because they just don't want to see an inspiring Black guy who was doing things right, inspiring young Black men and white guys at that too. So yeah, I wanted him to come back. And I think having Little Toussaint, eventually I do think he is going to be the next Black Panther, but I think they're going to utilize him for the Young Avengers, which they have already said that they are going to make. And he's going to be on the Young Avengers team. And I'm wondering, will they go to another multiverse and still pull another T'Challa to kind of be his father in this universe, to kind of rear him to be the Black Panther for this universe? That's the type of thing I would like to see them do if we're going to still do recasts.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Crystal?
Yeah, so I wanted them to recast them initially because they even went into how Chadwick, you knew how much of a cultural impact that this movie would have, and he himself didn't want it to die, with him. And so I definitely, wanted it recast. Now with this one, I don't know if I would be into seeing. This is just coming from someone without a comic background. I don't know if I would be into seeing Shuri carry like another 2 or 3 movies. It wouldn't feel the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so maybe if they fast forward, potentially they can have two dual T'Challas going on where you fast forward. The next movie is a fast forward where you have this full grown Black Panther, and now you can continue with the story. And they can still, I guess, milk and do another storyline with him, growing up potentially.
So that's what I'm saying. Go to the multiverse, find another T'Challa, put him in this universe to train Toussaint to be prepared to be the Black Panther for this multiverse as he grows. And for those that don't know, in the comics, Shuri did get the mantle of Panther, but she got the mantle of Panther while her brother was having to do something else and step away from the throne. But he reared her to do everything he could do before he had to step away. And you could do something like that where they get another Panther from another multiverse, bring him here to train the young Toussaint, and then send his butt back to his multiverse.
I like that. Lamont. I like it.
Miss Kara Speaks says, I understand grieving Chadwick, but we done had 50-11 Batmans and 3 Spider-Man all in one movie. And they all hear that same movie.
It's true.
And that's what bothers me. Superman, when Christopher Reeve died, he actually signed on to play Superman again. And he ended up dying. Actually he didn't die. He got paralyzed and he couldn't play Superman. But they recasted him. Same thing with Heath Ledger. I mean, he won a freaking Oscar for that role. Yeah. But they recasted him. I don't understand why people thought that the character should not be recast. Exactly. I mean, maybe they probably didn't think no one can fill the role. Let's be honest. How many Black actors do we have? Most of them are legendary older actors who could not play T'Challa, and some of them are young that's not even proven yet. So I think that's probably was a problem with it. They probably didn't see nobody who was good enough to fill Chadwick role.
And maybe I agree with that, definitely. And maybe they just thought it was too soon. I feel like it would have been, to me, it would have been too soon. Just my personal opinion. I like where they're going. I like Lamont's theory. I like it being more so in the future films we're going to see. And hopefully, by the third film, we're going to see a new Black Panther. But I think this was like they had to ease into it almost, and people's emotions were behind it. Ryan Coogler's emotions was behind this, so that could have clouded some of his judgment as well.
I agree.
I think
because Mo, he could have waited and used a different villain instead of Namor, and that would have really helped. Like I said, Namor is just so canon to T'Challa. They could have used a different villain. They could have used Kraven, and it would have felt easier to see Shuri ascend to the mantle with Kraven than it would have felt like with Namor. Namor is like he's next level villain. He's big
right.
Namor's character.
It is almost disrespectful to have a rushed Shuri as Black Panther and not a seasoned Shuri as Black Panther. Because in the comics, Shuri did battle Namor, but she was seasoned and groomed by her brother for like a year or two. And that made it way more believable than what this felt like.
Than what the film gave us, right?
It did.
I can see that. I can see that where y'all coming from. Yeah.
But the Kraven, they couldn't use Kraven because Sony owns
Sony. That's right.
Right. And I remember Ryan Coogler did an interview. He actually wanted to use Kraven in the first Black Panther, and they was like, oh nah, he's off limits. Sony being who Sony is, they barely even gave a Spider-Man. So I can imagine they would. And you being a comic book fan, Kraven and Black Panther used to have some epic battles.
Epic.
And for us not to get them, I'm like, oh man, that sucks.
And they could have done the White Wolf, but they already done messed that up by calling Steve Rogers' buddy the Winter Soldier the White Wolf. So for those that don't know, there was a brother figure to T'Challa in the comics that was a white guy that instead of being a panther, he wore a suit that was like a wolf.
Wolf.
He was good, but he would go off on these tangents, and they would have to reel his ass back in. Pop, 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 beat him up, reel him back in, because he'd get on these tangents sometimes, and thinking he's supposed to be down with Val and Everett Ross characters. So there could have been some things done, but we'll see where they go next, because it felt like they concluded the story. Honestly, like there's not going to be no more Black Panther movies the way it ended this movie. How do y'all feel about the way they ended it? Did y'all feel like they ended it in a way where it felt like it was book ending the whole franchise, or do y'all think we're going to get more?
I felt like we're gonna get more. Like, and they kind of set it up, of course, with the son, but even y'all, I'm so bad at the names. Whoever the villain was, the blue people.
Namor.
His speech at the end to, I think it was his daughter or somebody, his right hand person, whatever.
One of his
Namor.
Yeah.
What he was saying, it was setting it up for the future. How he was saying how eventually they'll team up together because basically, the world is gonna be at Wakanda like enemies. It was his verbiage, it was his dialogue in that speech that made me feel like, okay, yep, we're gonna see more for sure.
Well, true, but that doesn't have to be them coming to Wakanda. That could be a Thunderbolts movie where they're trying to get the vibranium, and Val is the head of the Thunderbolts, and that team is going to have 5 powerful people, and we know for sure they're either going after Wakanda or they're going after Tolkien, one or the other one, and that could be their movie where we do get to see the Wakandans, but not per se a Wakanda movie. That's all I'm saying.
But the rumor is the Thunderbolts will be fighting Namor. That's supposed to be the rumor. That's why we saw Val and saw Ross. The Thunderbolts are supposed to be created because they're going to go after Namor.
Right. And if they do that, then we're going to get Easter eggs highlighting Wakanda because they're going to need their help. They're going to bring damn near a Hulk down there. They're going to bring damn near Walmart Great Value version of Captain Steve Rogers down there. They're going to be bringing a knockoff version of the Black Widow down there. Then you're going to have the Winter Soldier all going after Namor. So you're going to have to get the Black Panther to come help.
Yeah, because somebody, I think that's where Bucky going to become confused, because if Wakanda gets into it, he's not going to battle Wakanda.
Nope.
Especially with what he owes them. He's definitely not going to battle Wakanda.
He's not fooling with them. And he got And he likes some of the Wakandan women too. He has a little bit of that sweet tooth, little bit of that
Exactly.
chocolate tooth going on over there, Bucky Barnes.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I see a movie. Definitely not no time soon. I know they was talking about the series at one point, and I haven't heard that much about that recently. So I think we may get a series before we get another movie, as far as focusing on Wakanda.
Mhm.
I know Okoye's getting a series, so
And
we
she
getting
deserves
something.
it.
Yeah.
Yes,
She
definitely.
deserves it. She can hold a show by her damn self.
Yeah.
She was my favorite part of this movie, to be honest with you. I love Okoye in this movie.
It was
I
good.
mean, sister killed it.
Yeah,
She did.
Mhm.
she definitely did.
Yeah, she
All right,
did.
y'all. So Mo is getting ready to leave shortly, and I want to make sure that she get her thoughts out before she has to go. So I'm gonna let her have the floor until she has not until she has to leave, but you know.
I'm about to go now. So, I mean, my final thoughts. I really enjoyed the movie. I loved it. I was entertained. For me, again, as a non-comic book person, I give it a 10 out of 10. It was. I thought it was an excellent.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I think it was an
Wow.
excellent. Okay, I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10 because they killed Queen Mother.
Okay.
He's on the docket for that.
They killed Queen Mother, so I'm gonna give them actually a 9 out of 10.
Okay. Okay.
For a sequel, for everything that happened, behind the scenes in real life, losing Chadwick. I mean, as a movie, to me, it was a really good sequel. It was a really good movie, I think, overall. And again, I'm not a comic person, so I'm coming from a different vantage point, you know what I mean? But I give it a 9 out of 10, you guys. And I'm gonna see it again. Probably next week I'll go see it again. So
Wow.
But this was fun. Thank you, Nita, for having me. It was nice talking to everybody and meeting some new faces. Mark.
Nice to meet you, Monique.
Lamont.
Yes.
All right, Monique.
And Crystal. Finally get to meet you. All right. Thank you again, Nita. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye. All right, y'all. I wanted to shout out Monique Johnson for her Cash App. Great Wakanda panel, enjoying the discussion. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate it. And also too, y'all, I wanted to, it was like the things that make you go, I feel like there are a lot of things that were kind of shoehorned in this movie that just didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense. Like baby T'Challa. Okay, so I did not think that they had a romantic, intimate relationship because that's not the way they postured that in Black Panther 1 is that he had a crush on her. So I'm failing to see where this actually
it was a little deeper than that, Nita. It was a little deeper than that because they even kind of meddled about when they went to that bar where it was gambling. They even meddled in, well, I get some action tonight. And she was like, well, we got to finish the mission first. That's when Okoye jumped into the earpiece and said, can y'all stay on mission?
Yeah,
they're talking about having sex that night. So, and then by the end, he got her to be someone who works around the world on behalf of Wakanda. And that was supposed to be the part that bridges them together so they get the relationship going. So they didn't overly romance that they had a romance, but they did sprinkle enough in there that you can have the foundation for them having sex, and he had a oops and they had a baby.
Right.
Yeah, to me it was supposed to be implied that
exactly. Tamika hit it right on the head. It was implied enough in the last episode that he forgot to wear his royal condom.
Yeah. And it's a little strange though, because I'm assuming the kid didn't get affected by the blip because he's what, 6, 7 years old?
He got to be 6.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. You got to get him back because he know what he's talking about.
Yes, y'all. So since we do have a comic book head, he said he has to get out here soon. So I'm going to have to get to this segment where I'm trying to figure out what's the setup. So Lamont has the answers, I'm sure. And because there was a lot of things that was in the movie that really didn't matter. Like clearly it felt like it was there for some setup for Phase 5 for Disney Plus and all that stuff. And so I think Lamar already hit something on the head talking about the Thunderbolts. So do you think them being in this story is basically set up for something else coming down the line?
Yeah, 100%. That is nothing but a setup for the Thunderbolts, where Val is going to be head of the Thunderbolts, and she's probably going to get herself in a quagmire with Ross, who is basically owe his life to the Wakandans, and Shuri, who's now the Black Panther. And in this movie, they had an exchange when she arrested Ross, where she was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have an orgasm because I want that vibranium so bad." Telling us that they're going after the vibranium, and because they know how menacing the Wakandans are, they're not going to try to get it from them. But the problem is the Thunderbolts don't know how tough the tokens are. So she ain't going to mess with the Wakandans because Ross has pretty much said, they know what they're doing, they know how to use it, they tough, blah, blah, blah. But now that this intel has been found that there's another country, because remember, she bugged the Gamoya bees, which, first of all, how the hell you got someone that know how to bug the vibranium of Gamoya bees, but you can't find nobody else to help you find the vibranium? That was a little wonky to me anyway. But anyway, with it. The Thunderbolts are going to be going after, like Mark said, they're probably going to go after Namor first before they try to mess with the Wakandans. And when Bucky sees what's going on, and when he goes see that wall at the end that Namor was painting on, because in the very end, if you missed it, he put a panther up there that he was fighting with. He put a Black Panther on that wall. When they get down there and see that, Bucky is going to know exactly what happened. He's probably going to be caught in the middle. He's probably going to call Ross. Then they're going to have to get Wakanda involved. And then the Thunderbolts going to get that ass kicked.
I mean, the Thunderbolts is definitely going to be tough, though. That's going to be a hard squad, and especially if they get Red Hawk. I mean, with Red Hawk, I don't know. Well, Namor, of course. Namo's supposed to be on the level of Thor and the Hulk, so he's supposed to have that strength. So maybe that must be where they're going to be able to handle the Thunderbolts.
Right. Him and Tuma is supposed to be just as strong too underwater. Yeah, hell, Tuma in most cases can be stronger than Namor underwater. Not outside the water. The only one who get to retain every power outside the water is Namor. So underwater, you don't want to mess with them. And Tuma at one point in time in the comic line, he went rogue against Namor and was trying to take over the surface world, which is what brought Namor with the Avengers and the Fantastic Four in a comic run one time too. So they could go a lot of ways with Namor. And let's not forget, Namor is part of the Illuminati, or original member of the Illuminati with T'Challa, with Professor X, with Reed Richards, and the whole crew.
Right. Okay. So I guess you agree with that, Mark? You good with that? What he was saying about it was just
the Thunderbolts gonna invade Token.
Where we going?
Oh yeah. I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree with that.
So now I also think that this is some kind of setup for something. Lamont?
Basically, she's making these suits because nobody else has powers down there. Nobody else is going to be drinking the heart-shaped herb. And so instead of the heart-shaped herb giving you powers, she's making the technology be the thing to give you powers. And that suit is damn near better than an Iron Man suit because it can do everything Iron Man suit do, but it's not as bulky. You literally can walk through a metal detector with that suit on. You ain't walking through no metal detector with no Iron Man suit on. So Shuri literally made that concept so that she can arm the Dora Milaje with something that gives them super strength and the ability to take on a world that's starting to become full of people with superpowers. Mutants, basically.
Mutants.
Okay. Also, too, this felt shoehorned in. Not quite sure, but it felt like...
I was about to piggyback on what you're saying. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just saying it felt shoehorned in, but you have more to say about the suit?
No. About what you was about to show. The next picture.
Oh, okay. So this, and I think this is the person that's going to be joining her in this suit. So does it seem like they are setting up some kind of another type of alliance? Some other something, not the Dora Milaje, but another type of something.
Well, those what are they called again? The Night Angels, or
Yeah, the Midnight Angels.
The Midnight Angels. Yeah, the Midnight Angels is supposed to be like the Navy SEALs for Wakanda,
Right.
pretty much. They supposed to be elite, and I believe that with them introducing I forgot her name, the actor's name.
Michelle
She's going to be part of that Okoye TV show. I think she's going
Mhm.
to, play a big role in it. I don't know if it's going to be romantic or whatever, but she's definitely going to be part of that show.
Mhm.
Okay.
She's gonna be in the show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. And then so I think the last thing, did y'all notice? What did y'all enjoy the cameo?
No.
And why did we see him instead of her mother, her father, her brother? Well, we know why we couldn't see her brother, but how did y'all feel about that?
I didn't like it because I know Killmonger actually becomes Black Panther in the comic books once, and he helps Wakanda actually fight a little bit, fight some wars and things. But Killmonger's gone. I thought she should at least saw her father, maybe, or saw her mom, or I don't know, saw somebody. But see Killmonger. But then when he said the reason you see me is because you're going at it in revenge, that don't really make sense because he went at it with revenge, but he saw his dad. So I don't understand why he see his dad, but she sees him.
Right. I think it was supposed to be her state of mind, or at least that's the way they wanted to make it, seem.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting to see him there.
Yeah, I wanted Killmonger to live. I actually thought that it would be him coming back helping Wakanda and become Black Panther instead of Shuri. But now we know he's dead.
Right. Yeah, at least we had a little bit of hope because we didn't really see
exactly
on-screen death. But then him now
he's gone.
He's gone.
Right. Because you see what they did for Ross. They put a bead in his body and he lived. Could have clearly did the same thing for Killmonger.
Mm-hmm.
But he gone now, y'all. It's over.
It's done. Yep, forget it. So.
Yeah. And so getting with that, and I think that they were really trying to show us that she connected more to Kill, because even her suit looked like it took inspiration from Killmonger's suit.
Yeah. I noticed that too when she grabbed it.
Yeah.
When she grabbed it, I was like, wait, is that Killmonger's suit?
They really wanted us to believe that everything she was doing was for revenge, for retribution.
Yeah.
And at the very end, they're going to have the ancestral plane. They showed us her mother as if she was in the ancestral plane with the mom saying, show them who you are. We would have liked to have gotten more of that.
Exactly.
You could have done the Killmonger part, but give us more of her having that. Let Shuri also have dialogue back and forth with Mom, I just really want to kill him because he killed you. Something like that. And then she's like, no, honey, you would be no better than what he was trying to do to that girl, that scientist, some kind of dialogue like that. And then they could have let her go back and done exactly what she did.
Yeah. So basically, she just had a thought, a real good thought, and then say, okay, I'm not going to kill him anymore.
Right. It just didn't,
like that.
I'm telling y'all, it just didn't. I'm not bought into that Black Panther. Just not. They rushed it.
Yeah. All
right.
right.
And you know what else was weird for the whole Black Panther movie? They did this big funeral for T'Challa, and not one Avenger came to the funeral.
That was a mess.
I was wait a sec. This is T'Challa, the king who helped y'all beat Thanos.
That was a mess.
Nobody comes?
Nobody.
Not even Bucky, not even old Captain America. No one came.
Yeah,
Nobody.
At least a reaction. Maybe they didn't have to come, but we can at least see how they felt about it.
Right.
How they dealt with it. They may not come to the service, the funeral thing, but some kind of something.
Yeah, and they showed up for Iron Man's death.
Everybody showed up
for Iron Man's death. Why you couldn't show? Because T'Challa had just as important a role. The fight started in Wakanda.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like
we about to be out of here, y'all.
Okay, I appreciate it.
We'll see y'all tomorrow.
All
right, see you.
All right, take care.
But yeah, that bothered me.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that I was just saying that bothered me. The whole, no Avengers coming and nobody paying homage or anything.
Right. Yeah, I think, and that's what I was saying when a lot of these other little pieces that they were throwing in there, and I was like, no, get that out of here. Like, let's focus on what we're here to focus on. That's why it got too convoluted for nothing to me. Like, it didn't feel like, well, I appreciated Riri's character because some people saying Riri didn't have to be in there. I was like, I think she was fine in it. I mean, it kind of made Namor's motivations feel a little thin. Like, you want to kill the scientist. I'm like, anyway.
Right.
First of all, just for that part alone, what are they raging war? I mean, the type of war that they raged on Wakanda for something that somebody can do. I mean, it's more than one scientist in the world. Like, I don't know. It just didn't make any sense to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. It didn't make sense because when they said scientist, I'm thinking like, all right, who's this so-called scientist? And I'm hoping they're not talking about Riri Williams because, that's a push right there. I'm thinking like, wait, that's a push. Well, and then I'm thinking about, okay, maybe they're talking about the scientists or whoever rebuilt, what's Wanda's boyfriend name? What's his name?
Vision.
I'm thinking like, oh, maybe it's whoever rebuilt Vision. Because I'm like, it took two geniuses to build Vision. So who built Vision? That's what I'm thinking. Like, this is what they're going to go with. But it was Riri.
Yeah.
It was
so
Riri.
Dante asks, how important do you think it is to be versed in the traditional comic book stories to truly enjoy the film experience of Marvel movies?
I don't think people need to be versed in it anymore because these are new stories now. This is not the old stories that was written by old white men, and those stories were catered to white people. We weren't reading comic books like that back then. So I like what they're doing now because they're being more diverse. They're being more. They're catering to everybody instead of just one audience. So I don't think people need to be versed in it, honestly.
Tamika, do you read the comic books? Or do you just follow the movies?
No, I don't read them, but my son does. And every time we watch something, he has been like, this is not like how it is in the comics, and they got this wrong, and this is supposed to happen, and they got to do this, and they got to bring that, certain stuff I'll be liking, and he'd be like, no, I ain't like that because that's not how it goes. So I got to hear that from him all the time.
Okay. And so I wanted to I agree with you on you don't have to be well versed, and you hear so much because we're all in this space and everybody talks about it, and so you kind of get a gist for things and how things were and how they took from the story and then they changed it and all this other stuff. So so I think
and I think Stan Lee said it best. These movies are inspired by the comic books. They're not the comics. If they were, a lot of what we've been seeing will probably ruffle so many people's feathers that it wouldn't be so popular. Because like I said, they were written for a certain audience. So now it's like, look, they let them change whatever they want to change. I mean, of course, comic book fans like myself, I'm missing some of the awesome reads that I saw. But I can actually live with it. It's fine with me.
Yeah. I mean, even when you see documentaries and biographies, they change stuff in that too. It don't be exact to how it went. They, and some of the things I'll be like, now why they change that? Why they couldn't just tell the story as it was? So same thing.
Yep.
Right. But I wanted to I think that's all that I had, but I just want to get your favorite parts of the movie. I like the first hour and about 30 minutes of it, just because of Angela Bassett's performance. That very for when she went to go meet with the UN, baby, that was the best scene to me, hands down. Loved every bit of it. I was like, oh my God, is this what we about to get? Like, yes, like I'm here for it. Whew, child. It didn't like that, but that was my favorite part of the story.
Go ahead,
Tamika.
Tamika. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I liked it overall. I liked the beginning part. I love Neymar. I was here for him. I liked when they first came out that water and was making them sounds. I said, wait, what's going on here? Like that whole
Yes,
scene. I was here for it, you know, with
like a
them
scary
fighting with
movie.
yeah, with what's her name, Akora, when they was fighting on the bridge. That was a hot scene. I loved Angela Bassett. Like I said, she was giving it. At first, I was a little confused too when she was going in on her and demoting her and saying she wasn't going to be the general anymore. I was like, wait a minute, you going a little too far. But then when she broke it down and said her reasonings and she killed that scene, I was
Yep.
like, yeah, she do kind of have a point.
Yep.
Can't really argue with her there.
Yep.
So I understood where she was coming from with that part. So yeah, that's that. I mean, I thought everybody acting was on point. I definitely
Yeah.
could have did for some more Mbaku too. I thought we could have had a little bit more. I was expecting a little bit more. But other than that, yes, justice. Those was the parts that really stood out a lot to me though.
Yeah, I like the part with her firing Okoye. I thought it was accurate. I mean, that's what made me say that okay, this movie is good because she did exactly what any other real queen or general or king would have done. So that part to me was really good. Of course, I loved all the Namor parts. For me, Namor is one of my favorite comic characters. So he owned that role, and I didn't mind that they switched the whole Atlantis Tolkien type thing. I thought that was actually perfect what they did because we saw Atlantis, y'all. We saw it with the DC Comics thing, and I understand what Marvel did. Like, we don't want to get people confused. Let's just switch everything up. That gives the Hispanic, community a hero now.
Right.
They had absolutely none. So now the Hispanic, community has a hero, and I was like, all right, this is pretty good. I didn't like the fact that it's kind of like a black versus Hispanic thing, though. When they were fighting,
Right.
I was like, wait a second, you trying to put us against each other?
Right.
Right. I was like, all right, but that's what they did. Let's just say they didn't mean to.
But it feels like they're going to link up. So in the future against the real enemy. So
against the real
enemy. Looking forward to that.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So it was good. Riri, I thought Riri was. Well, she was satisfied. I mean, I ain't gonna say she was the best addition only because the way she was introduced in the comic books was a little more epic than what they did in, the movie. Because she had a true link to Tony Stark. And they didn't mention Tony Stark at all in this movie with a link to her. Like, they didn't even let her say that she was inspired by him. Right. Because clearly all of her tech was Tony Stark, but she didn't mention him at all. And I'm like, well, wait, she could at least said, I'm a fan of him. Only thing we got was a cop saying, hey, she got an Iron Man suit. That was it. That's the only thing we heard. Yeah, that was all. But other than that, I mean, like I said, it was a great movie. Comic book fan wise, it wasn't best, but it was a lot that I enjoyed. It was a lot that I did enjoy.
Yeah. Definitely was. Are you guys feeling this over the first one, or is the first one still supreme?
It's still the first for me.
I gotta stay with the first one, and I think the reason I'm staying with the first one only because Killmonger's passion for what he was trying to do made it more believable for me. Whereas though this one, it was kind of like Angela Bassett carried this movie until she died. Like the whole strong actor was like, yo, Angela Bassett got me in here with shivers on my arm the way she doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she definitely deserves to be nominated or something.
Right. She really giving it to him. So I still gonna roll with the first one. I love the first one.
Yeah, it's still the first one for me too.
Yeah.
The OG.
Yeah, the OG is definitely is. Only one I didn't like about the first one is that they didn't show his father's funeral. They kind of like just brushed it off. Right. Yeah. And we saw it in the second, what happens to a king when they die. They didn't do that for his father.
Right. Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So is it Angela Bassett for Best Actress?
I wish.
I hope so. I really think she deserves it.
Yes. Hey, Jay Stokes. Yes, yes, yes. Anything else you want to cover before we get off of here? Don't forget to subscribe to Tamika's Den, her YouTube channel. I'll get it in the description box. I didn't know who was going to be here, so I'll make sure I put everything in there. And yeah, which I want to talk about before we get on out of here because I'm done.
Hey, look, I just think this was dope. You know what I mean? You know, the next movie, MCU movie coming up. I don't know if you're going to do one for Ant-Man or whatever, but yeah, anytime you bring this comic book stuff in, I'm down. I love it.
Okay.
Yep.
Look, I'm gonna call
Thank
you too.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me get on and
I'm actually looking forward to Ant-Man now. I wasn't before, but I'm really looking forward to him because of Kane.
Yeah, because of Kane. I really got, what's my guy name? I be forgetting his name. The guy playing Kane. What's his name?
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah,
Is that it? Yeah, yes, I'm here for him. I'm here for him.
He was so good in Loki. I said, oh man, I gotta see this again. I gotta see him again.
Okay. All right. I really like Riri together with Shuri and Okoye, like the trio of them. Like when she was flying, like them working together, and you know, she was making the shots, they was doing the alley-oop and she hit it. And I was like, yes, I was here for that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed her.
I did think they had a good chemistry together.
Yeah.
Especially with both of them being geniuses. I was like,
right.
Pretty cool because you know they both the smartest people in the movie. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, wait a minute. She said Wanda Strange, Agatha, and they couldn't bring. That's what. Listen, y'all heard me earlier in the review said I feel like this is a black thing. I said they killing. Nah, I was just
killing off. Yeah, it's like, come on, y'all just bringing everybody else back, but the folks that we want to come back.
Exactly.
That's usually how it goes.
I was like, I don't be trying to be. I don't be wanting to pull the card, but
I know I don't be wanting to pull it either. But I'm like, all right, so now the only true superhero we got is what? Captain America? I mean, the Black Captain America? That's it.
Right.
We don't have any other black characters. We don't have any other black male characters.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Right. All we got now is what's his name? I forgot it. Sam Wilson. That's it.
Wow.
Oh, I'm forgetting about Rhodey. My bad, y'all. Don Cheadle's character.
Yeah, Rhodey.
Yeah, I forgot.
And then they made the lady that they made have some powers in WandaVision.
Yeah, Photon. She's gonna be in the Marvels.
Okay.
Yes, I forgot about her. She is gonna be one of the lead ones for the Marvels movie. So that's gonna be good.
Yeah. That's about it. I mean,
I think that's it. Yeah. Oh man, we forgetting about Nick Fury himself, y'all. My bad.
I do want to see that. I do want to see that show.
Phase 4. Where's he been?
It's like he's been missing forever.
Maybe we gonna get some answers in the show. I don't know what he been up to.
Yeah. When that show come out, March or February next year?
I think it's March. Yeah, I gotta check again. I think it's March.
Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining the live. I had a great discussion. I stayed on topic. We had some great guests. We had some comic book heads that knew exactly what was going on. I'm your casual, watcher, Tamika as well. But we was able to follow along, enjoy it for what it is. And so I appreciate everyone for coming out. Thank you, Monique, for the Cash App. I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Take it easy, guys.
Thank you for having me. Bye, y'all.
Take care, guys.
I'm trying to find my thing.